be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the first play of the game. 44 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31.
We got 4 down. Yeah, take the edge. Go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Heck of a move and then brought down near the 23. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Johnson spinning away. Oh, now he bowls him over. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Kaiser now on 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Though you've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter, here's another good example.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Kaiser. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And it's off the crossbar. Oh, he couldn't even get it there. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Awesome.
Prescott from the gun. Throw right side caught by Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Let's go. Get out. Here you go. I'm going 46. Here we go. Go to 54. Why? Sweat. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Caught right side, Davis. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Here we go, 46. Swing to the field, right. To the right. Here we go, 46. Swerve, hey. Gun. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Duke Riley in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there at 22. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique, his ability to see the quarterback throw the...
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A second down throw for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hodges. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He's still barreling through. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator's relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Now Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now they'll bootleg it with Kaiser. He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Kaiser to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. So we got free at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Second down, Prescott. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
They go to Johnson again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He's going to fire one into a double team, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this is caught at the 20. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. That goes for a gain of 31. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Following the interception, Kaiser, screen play, Johnson. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. 2nd down, Kaiser. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Flex round! Flex round!
Play action now. Kaiser looking deep for Julio. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Kaiser. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And avoids the contact by sliding. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense.
Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Get out. 46.
3rd and long for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Hodges. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Cowboys. Bucky Hodges, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bailey got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And here now come the Falcons. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are in for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Switch, hey. Here we go, 46, 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a little delay. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was getting rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. Prescott on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down, Elliott powers ahead at the 45. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Prescott, they'll set up the screen to Elliott. Ooh, the juke. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Prescott now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. Got an open man. It's Ratley. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him.
And he's going to go down. just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now Prescott, escaping the pressure right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Deion Jones in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Prescott on 3rd and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
On third down, it's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Cheever complete. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out.
Touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Oh, and this is blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
It wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there've got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Looking deep. It's caught at the 10. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. From the gun, Kaiser. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this. Until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Dancing away at the 35. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And finding the tight end, Hooper. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Kaiser going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coney Ely in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Coney Ely in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
4 down, check, 4 down. Ohio.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Going for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
47.
A first down carry by Allen. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Back now here on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Prescott. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They get it to him running left. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Well, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Again, it's Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 3rd down, Johnson. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Fielded just inside the 30. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, but now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd down, Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
26.
On third down, Elliott has some space here. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It's coming now. There goes 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Prescott from the gun on third. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
Hustle.
First down, Prescott. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Damian Ratley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. And that will cut this lead down to 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Spinning away, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. On second down, Freeman. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. They'll throw here. Kaiser. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Prescott looks to throw on first. And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And a decent move, but brought down quickly just outside of the 5-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Second down, Kaiser. Looking deep for Julio. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, that's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the 4th quarter now. And the Lions now have swung back in front in that game. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Here we go. All right, hey.
A first down throw for Prescott. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Prescott now. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. A give to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Prescott from the gun. Flushed out right. That's complete right around the 8. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll run it with Elliott. A beautiful fake. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And they're throwing here. Kaiser. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. That one goes for 24 yards. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. To throw is Kaiser. Able to get away. And fight, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now a second down throw for Kaiser. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
One last shot now for Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out,